All right, welcome inside the in-person and online media center of the Chevron Championship, and I am pleased to be joined by the 2023 champion, Lilia Vu. Before I open it up to the people behind me and also on this chat, please note if you have any questions on Zoom, please let me know in the chat function of this call so that when I know to open it up for questions, I'll know to call on you. But with one question for me before I open it up, Lilia, it's been about 45 minutes to an hour since that last putt went in. Just take me through the emotions of what you've been feeling for the past 2 hours.
Just nerves. I felt like today was a really hard day. The course was playing really difficult with the wind and the weather and it being colder. I just didn't feel great on the course. I was getting kind of moody, and my caddy Cole was there to basically ground me and remind me like, hey, we're just going to try our best, and whatever happens, happens. Just hit it on your line and then go from there and stop getting so upset over every little thing. And then somehow 17 and 18 comes, birdie, and then now we're here.
All right, I'll open it up here.
Lilia, the emotions flowed pretty quickly after that final putt went down. What was the first thing that went through your mind?
I couldn't believe it, honestly. The past 2 days, I was very angry. I didn't feel like myself, just internally. Golf game, that's whatever. I just felt like I was getting angry over every single little thing, and that's usually not how I roll. So I was upset about how I portrayed myself and how I handled myself. And so it was just, I couldn't believe that happened, that we won a major.
This was your local major growing up. Do you have any memories of watching the then A&A and the previous Dyna, and what does it mean for you to win your former local major?
Yeah, so I played when it was the final year of Kraft Nabisco as a junior golfer, and then I was able to play again 2018 at the A&A. And in that tournament in 2018, I made the cut, and I realized, wow, I'm good enough to be out here, and I could not wait to come back here and play. So it's surreal to me now that we're here.
You mentioned the course played really tough today. What was the hardest hole out there for you?
All of them are hard, to be honest. You really have to drive the ball well here and putt really well, too. So it's just hard on all aspects. And, yeah, it's just really fun to play. Target golf, difficult, windy, you name it. It's difficult.
It was your second win on tour. What did it mean to have your family here to celebrate with you this week?
Oh, it means the world. I honestly want them everywhere whenever I play. So it's nice that I'm able to take my parents with me.
You're the first person to jump into that pond. What was it like? And did you know all along that you were going to do that?
I think Cole and I kind of passed by on 18 during the practice round and kind of discussed, would you jump? And I was like, yeah, I would jump. If I won here, of course I would jump. Yeah, and yesterday or the day before, we saw a snake on 17 pond, so I was kind of thinking about that today, but I think emotions were high and just adrenaline. Got to jump into that pond.
Can you take us through the playoff, the decision on what to hit on the second shot and then the two putts?
Yeah, so I hit a good drive. Honestly, I don't know how it got that far. Maybe I hit something while it landed, but it was significantly further. I think when I actually played 18 during my round, I had a hybrid in, and then all of a sudden I had a 7-iron in on the playoff hole. So I just seen Angel hit, and then we were deciding what to hit, either going with the 7 or going extra with the 6-iron, just to give it extra room to get over the water. And I was just feeling 7-iron, and I was going to hit it, and then we hit a good shot, and then I knew the green was really fast, but I wasn't sure with all the rough and into the grain from the fringe. So I left it short. But I knew on that last putt, all I had to do was just do my routine, read the putt how I usually do, and just hit this putt, because I've hit that putt a million times, and I knew I could make it.
Just real quick, in your eyes, how long was that winning putt?
It felt like forever, and more, but I think it was like 13 or 14 feet.
Oh. I know. Ooh.
Can I just ask
Of
one
course.
more? You know how much your grandfather is meant to you. I just wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about him and his role in your life.
Yeah, the reason I'm here is because of my grandpa. So when my grandpa and his kids and wife fled Vietnam, he actually went away for a couple months at a time building a boat in the countryside. And one day he told my mom and her siblings, like, it's time to go. It's time to go. And I remember her telling me that her and her little sister were running through the forest to get to that boat. Wow. And my grandpa took an extra amount of people. I don't know what the capacity was, but he took extra people from the village, and I think 2 days on the boat, and they shot a flare, and I think a U.S. boat came by, and I think because I think the boat had a leak, and so they really needed to find someone to help them out. And then, and now my mom's here, and then she had me, and my grandpa's the reason why I'm here. And he passed away at the beginning of COVID. I was just in such a bad place with my golf game. Just everything was life or death. I just saw everybody that I've competed with being successful, and I just compared myself all the time. But now I know that everybody's journey is different and everything happens for a reason. And I was leaving for my tournament in Florida, an Epson Tour event, and my grandpa was in the hospital for his heart condition, and it seemed like he was fine, and the last thing he told me was to play my best. He's in the hospital thinking of me and my tournament. And when we came back from that tournament, my mom got a call from my aunt that grandpa's in the ER. And that day he passed away, and that's something that I think about a lot. And even today, I was getting really upset on the course, and I just had to remind me, like, grandpa's with you, and he'd be really disappointed if you were getting upset like this, and that you need to get your act together. Sorry. Yeah.
What's his name?
He's just grandpa to me. I don't know his name because he has a Vietnamese name.
I'll ask Mom.
Yeah, ask Mom. That's a question for Mom. He's just always been grandpa.
Ken?
What do you think he would say, seen from your low point near when he passed to you now as a major champion?
I think he'd say that all my struggles were worth it. Yeah.
All right, Steve, I know on the Zoom you have a question if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yeah, Lilia, have you ever birdied the final 2 holes of regulation and then won in a playoff to win anything?
I'm not sure. I'm sure I've had a bunch of playoffs before, but not this way. So it's been really amazing.
Great.
All right, I'll wrap it up here with just one question. I know you talked about, I think you've missed your flight already.
Yeah.
But with that, next week, playing in Wilshire.
Yes.
So how crazy is that?
Yeah, I'm super excited to go back to where our home course for UCLA was. So I'm super excited to go there.
All right, another tournament after a major winning performance. Congratulations, Lilia.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.